Hello, hello, and welcome to the show because you are now tuned into a brand spanking new Monday Night Live. That's right, aka the Hangout stream, aka the Chill stream, baby. All fired up for May 8th, 2023, and brought to you by yours truly, the man, broadcasting from behind the curtain. You know who I am. Because if you don't know by now, you can visit www.livefreeliverich.com or simply Google his name and you can find out. How you guys doing? How's the week? I guess more of a rhetorical question, but you're always welcome to go ahead and drop a comment down below. Like I always say, there's no need to be shy. I just like to know who took the time to stop by. Let me give you the rundown of what I got going on for tonight. Tonight, I have a whole gallery of poetry that's open to the public for our exploration. I'm also going to be exploring the details surrounding a new writer's strike. Yeah, you heard that right. For our hot topic tonight. And of course, I will be addressing any of your comments along the way, as well as discovering some books from the independent market. But before I dive into that tonight, I'd just like to start things off by saying thank you. Okay. Thank you to those who continue to tune in, interact, and contribute to the show in some shape, fashion, or form. Okay. I want you to know right now, all right, that without your ongoing voluntary participation, there will be no show. All right. So long as there are individuals who continue to show up, show out, and show their support, I will continue to produce these shows for you. Okay. But don't get it twisted. This is not a one-way street. All right. I'm not here to be a dancing monkey for your entertainment. You can head on over to TikTok if that's what you want. I started this show to encourage engagement for the independent scene. Light a fire under that ass, if you will. Which brings me right into my first segment of the night, where I like to shine a spotlight on some books. That's right. That are currently available or coming soon to an online store near you. Yes, it's true. And we have from Facebook, Melvise Johnson says, Freedom Seeker and Freedom Seeking by Tiffani Harvey will help you gain your freedom and maintain your independence. She is an independent publisher. And she is suggesting a book by an author that she has published. And that book is A Journey to Independence by Tiffani Harvey. So let's check it out. Of course, all these books in this first segment are all books that are suggested to me directly by the authors or publishers themselves, whether they are self-pubbed, independently published, or a small press company. Okay. A Journey to Independence is meant to help people who are trying to make their own choices in life. The author tells her own life story in the hope that the readers will learn how to make their own choices. The suggestions and questions throughout this book are guidelines to help people with disabilities know what kinds of questions they should ask before making a choice. Starting off with a little self-help here. Up next from Twitter comes Wendy Lindemuth. She just writes, "Are you ready to start healing?" We have some more self-help tonight. Let's see what this one's all about. This one is entitled "Healing from Within, a Chakra and Ho'oponopono Healing Guidebook." Say that 5 times fast. A Chakra and Ho'oponopono Healing Guidebook by Wendy Lindemuth. Align, get your chakras aligned, I guess. Are your chakras out of alignment? Healing from Within is a powerful book that teaches you how to heal and solve challenges in your life and health and find the answers you have been searching for. One book about asking the right questions. This book is about finding the answers. So learn how to implement chakras and the Hawaiian prayer, Ho'oponopono. I think that's how you, I don't know how you pronounce that. The Hawaiian prayer, Ho'oponopono, in your life and start feeling better emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. In addition, there are different activities to help you engage, like meditation, journaling, how to use color, nutrition, essential oils, crystals, and more to begin your healing journey. Surprised yoga wasn't in there. Let's see here. There we go. 180 pages of chakras, new age, mental, and spiritual healing. It's actually, there's a whole category in Amazon just called chakras. Hey, how you doing, stranger? Fancy seeing you here. Mr. Krabs is in there, standing at the concession, plotting our oppression. Let's see what we got up next. Amelia Hendrey. A familiar name from last week, actually. And this is the second book in this series, I think. I believe this was the memoir. Yeah, I think this was the family drama one. So continuing on from last week, with a kind of a duology of sorts, I guess, of memoirs. We'll see. But this one is entitled Let Go of What You Know by Amelia Hendrey. Following the publication of her acclaimed memoir, What Nobody Knew, back in 2017, Amelia Hendrey's readers all wanted to know when her next book would be out. Now the wait is finally over. While in her first book, Amelia bravely described her early years and surviving her brutal parents in part 1 of Letting Go of What You Know, she explains what happened next, humorously recounting her honeymoon in the Canaries, entering the workplace, caring for several quirky cats, and becoming a first-time mom. In sharing the good times, Amelia proves how healing, growth, and letting go are possible even after the worst start in life. In part 2, Amelia reveals the meticulous diary she kept as the COVID-19 pandemic brought fear and uncertainty into her world once again, chronicling moments from her day-to-day life that everyone will relate to. Her strength in the face of adversity shines through once again. I'm actually surprised there isn't a little blurb there on the cover that says "Stunning and Brave." 260 pages of memoirs. Does sound quite stunning and brave, I have to say. All right, we got one more book for you guys tonight. Let's see what we discover. Another one from Twitter. This from Daniel Humphreys. He says, publisher's tagline was, Harry Dresden's sorcery goes on a supernatural-style road trip. Cool car sold separately. My initial elevator pitch was Burn Notice meets Evil Dead. I'm intrigued. This is Fade. It's a Paxton Locke, book 1 from the Paxton Locke series by Daniel Humphreys. Now, this is actually he shared a 6-book series here. So what we're doing is we're just going to go ahead. We're going to cover book 1. We'll start off with book 1. See where it goes from there. See how it sounds. Son of a witch. Family drama is bad enough without adding magic and human sacrifice. 10 years ago, Paxton Locke's mother killed his father in a mysterious ritual that, thankfully, went incomplete. Now, Paxton makes his living as a roving paranormal investigator, banishing spirits while Mother languishes in jail. When a terrified ghost warns him of a dangerous, newly freed entity, Paxton faces a fight far beyond simple exorcism. In a battle for his very soul, will he be able to endure or simply fade away? 204 pages of horror, paranormal, and urban fantasy. I like the sound of that one. TBR. Just like that. All right, you guys, those are the books. Those are the books for this week. What do you guys think? You know the deal. If you're watching this on the replay, you can just go ahead. You can head on over to the community tab. Or if you're watching this live, you can wait till shortly after in post-production. I'll be putting up the poll, and you can vote for which one out of those 4 books you thought had the most text appeal. In other words, which one out of those 4 books would you be most likely to pick? And if you would like to discover more from the independent market, you can actually head on over to my shorts tab or my playlist tab, and you can open yourself up some mystery packs. Inside each mystery pack, there is one cover card that reveals a book from the independent market that has been recognized by the Live Free, Live Rich network. And in the description section of that short video, there is a link to an editorial written on that book by yours truly. Moving right along. Now, normally this next segment, this is a brand new segment that I introduced a couple shows back, okay? And this new segment is called The Reader's Review. What is the Reader's Review? The Reader's Review is where readers share reviews or authors, okay? So there's 2 ways. I do not have a review to read tonight, okay? But there's 2 ways that you can contribute to this segment, okay? One is if you are a reader, okay? Say you have a Goodreads account or you do Instagram, Bookstagram type posts, okay? And you post reviews that way, or you post them directly through other short form social media like Twitter or something like that. These are short form book reviews, okay? Think like, maybe a couple paragraphs, something like that. Basically like a customer review type of book review. Okay. So you can do like a rating system, like you do a star rating and a short review. That's what I'll read. So if you're a reader, you share a link with me, or if you are an author and you have a book review by a reader that you think should be highlighted, because that's what this segment is all about. It's about highlighting readers. So as I said before, without readers reading and reviewing and talking about indie books, all this scene is a bunch of authors just shilling their books, saying, buy my book. And that's not culture. Okay. We actually need readers who are reading these books and talking about them. Okay. And this is one way that we can kind of highlight those readers and recognize those people that are putting in that kind of effort. And that's what I want to do with this segment here. So if you guys have a review, you can share it with me. How can you share it with me? Well, let's get right into the next segment. Some announcements. All right. Well, if you would like to share links with me, what I do, if you're on social media, my Twitter is the best thing. If you want to follow me over there or add me to your list or just kind of keep tabs, the link was right on my homepage on my YouTube. But I usually 3 times a week when I'm doing my promos for the show, I will do writers lists. So that's an opportunity where you can share links with me. But if you want to be a little bit more discreet about it, and you just want to be able to just share links at any time, you can join one of our 2 group servers, or you can join them both if you want. Okay, I opened a server on Discord, and I also opened a server on Gilded. The Gilded is the newest one. Basically, these are just going to be a free. I want you to treat it basically like a free resource for you, your direct line of contact with me, to keep me on the up and up on your time. Whenever you're free to do so, you can just log into one of these servers, and I have all these channels. I've taken the time to set up all these different channels so you can share various types of links with me with whatever you have going on, and then I can in turn see who's sharing what, and I can just go ahead and add links to the queue so I can then turn around and bring that onto the show so I can mention those projects during the show. Kind of like, whether it be news, the books, like I just did in the first segment. And then we got a couple other segments to do. We got reading time, and we also have featured media. I also have some opportunities for you writers out there, for aspiring authors out there, or you authors who are already published and would just like to kind of expand your creative portfolio and collaborate. I started a project that I call the Storyteller Society. This started on. I started this project on the eve of 2022, and what I'm looking for here is flash fiction. Okay, so this is fiction. I'm actually I'm going to be preparing an actual presentation on flash fiction, probably within the coming months. I'm not going to set an exact date, but it's in the pipeline. I'm going to be working on a special presentation. But I'm looking for flash fiction for this project. Okay, for those of you who already know, and for this project specifically, flash fiction is fiction that is anywhere between 500 to up to 2,000 words for this project. Okay, and it can be any genre. I have a drop-down menu on the submission page where you can select the category that you think your fiction most that best fits. That's for me, and then if your work is approved, then you will effectively book yourself a room at the Hotel del SS, what I've dubbed it, where all the members of the Storyteller Society stay, and you get your own little room where all your contributions are kind of listed in the way that your job is done after that. This is free for public viewing. So this is a non-exclusive deal just for collaborations. Just like build like a peer-to-peer relationship among writers. Basically just another way of kind of creating opportunities for those to kind of come out of their shell a little bit and interact with each other. That's what I was kind of hoping that this project would be, but I'm continuing to do it into the future. It's an indefinite project that I'm just kind of doing. And I have kind of kicked around the ideas of kind of like turning this into something bigger down the road, maybe a web series of some sort, maybe get into like independent films. And I would like to, before I start getting into doing like paid work, in other words, offering paid opportunities for some writers out there, preferably I would like to have already established somewhat of a working relationship with some writers out there. In other words, people that I know that I can trust, people that I know that are legit. And, there's going to be different ways of going about doing that. I'm not saying you have to contribute to this or else we will never work together in the future or anything like that. but I'm just saying this is one of those opportunities, to kind of get your foot in the door, so to speak. So that's that. Non-exclusive deal. There's no contracts. It's just you agree to the terms of service, and this is free for the public viewing. Whatever gets published is free for the public viewing, and I'll share the links with you, and you can share it around if you want. And this is something that I continue to market on your behalf. And last but not least, we have the Live Free, Live Rich Weekly. This is going to keep you guys on the up and up with what's going on with my brand, the entire brand, not just Live Free, Live Rich Entertainment or the Live Free, Live Rich Network, but the entire Live Free, Live Rich brand in general. Once a week, this is right on the main page, livefreeliverich.com. You sign up for the newsletter. I send out one newsletter per week every Saturday, and it's going to give you all the pertinent links for that week as far as what's been going on across all different social medias. I know not everybody is so involved in the social media, like really cares about it too much. And, I can sympathize there. Eventually, I share the Discord and the Gilded. Those links are always in the show notes down below. I really would like more to try to get more people to get on board with the Discord or the Gilded and just start sharing their links over there, because I would slowly but surely like to kind of back off from being so on having to do social media stuff. Social media is really a big time suck. And the more, I go on social media and I try to market and stuff, it's just like there's just so much crap that it just makes me scratch my head, and I think to myself, like, did you even think before posting that? Like, why? Like, the amount, in other words, like, it's not a competition in the sense of like, it is a competition. It really is a competition in the sense of competing for eyeballs, but I don't look at it in the sense of competition like I'm competing against other creators. But it's really a competition in sense of trying to grasp people's attention, because there's just so much crap on social media that it's just like people post things and it's just like, it's literally just a vacuum of attention. Like, you're just vacuuming attention for what purpose at the end of the day is what I'm thinking. And I don't want, I refuse to be that guy. I refuse to be the clickbait guy. I refuse to be the rage bait guy. I refuse to be the nonsense guy that just posts like just pointless shit, literally just to like, oh, now that I have your attention, but that's just it. It's like, it's not even one of those, like, now that I have your attention, it's just posting stupid shit. And then people are like, okay, now you have my attention. Now what? And they're like, I don't know. Let me post some more nonsense. Okay. Thanks for wasting all of our time. Meanwhile, I'm out here busting my ass. I'm having fun with it, mind you. But I'm saying busting my ass in the sense of trying to deliver a quality product in terms of a quality production week in and week out, okay, to try to garner attention for the independent scene in general. And it's crickets, and it's like, all right, you know what I mean? There's got to be a line drawn in here somewhere. For the sake of my own sanity, I would like to eventually kind of back off the social media too much, because I can't handle the nonsense. I see too many people getting sucked into nonsense, and it's just like, I can't. And then the same people will turn around and complain, and it's like, I can't take it, man. I just can't take it. I gotta get away from it. I gotta get away from it. Hey, D.A. Bell in the house. What's going on, D.A. Bell? Let me hit you. Oh, did I take it away? No, I didn't. It's right here. Let me hit you with one of these. What's going on, man? How are you? You doing all right? Deadly Tarantula Girl, I've seen you on here before. Long time no see, though. How you been? Deadly Tarantula Girl says, have you been attacked on YouTube trying to teach? It's not fun. No. So far, no. I don't do a lot of, but I also haven't done like a lot of like advice type videos or anything like that either. I do have some like more Authortube kind of related, a couple presentations. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, and that's just it. It's the substance, it's the fast paced. I understand it. It's the cheap, fast, easy, sleazy entertainment, if you want to call it that, where it's like it's just the flyby short form nonsense. Just gimmicky or cheesy or sleazy stuff that people do to just try to grab attention because it's appealing to people's base sensibilities, and that's all it is. And it's like, God forbid, you try to come out here and you try to create or produce something of substance, that's evergreen, perhaps gonna have some longevity to it. It's not just see it and forget it as soon as you watch it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh wow, I just spent 15 seconds watching this short. Those are 15 seconds that I'm never going to get back. Now multiply that like 69 times. And that's what people are doing on a daily. And I want to try and break those habits, man. Say, hey guys, there's a whole thing here that you can get involved in. And I try to come up with these creative ways, all these different creative ways. And I'm not the only one. There are other content creators out there too that are doing similar things. And those are definitely the types of people. I'm not saying if it's not me and other people, definitely the types of creators that, I myself start taking more of a conscious approach to championing those people. You know what I mean? Because I do it. And since I've been doing it, I realized this is not something that is for everyone. It's not easy. I'm not complaining in the sense of like, I'm having fun with this. I'm not turning this into a stressful thing. It's literally nothing for me to tune in and week out. Like, this is something that I want to do. I want to be involved in the independent scene. But I'd be lying if I said that I don't find it discouraging that there aren't more people who are willing to come out of their shell, show up, show out, and show their support, in a very bare minimum level, which is just, in this instance, I literally just ask people to share links. That's it. Share links with me. That helps me create these shows. The shows continue on. There's a consistency. It keeps happening. It keeps going. And with that consistency, hopefully in the long run comes more of an audience, then builds a platform. The platform then has value intrinsically. The platform has value because of the amount of eyeballs. And it's not pointless eyeballs either. It's not just, guys, I'm here to suck up your attention because look at me, check out my newest selfie. That's not what it is. It's if you give me your attention, then it's about discovery. This whole thing is about raising awareness so that people who may be on the fence about the indie scene can come in and they have a place that they can come to where not only they can interact with somebody who is involved, puts his money where his mouth is engaged in the scene actively as an author, as a published author and content creator, but also like being able to see what kind of products are coming out of the indie scene. So other people can, if you want to collaborate with me, I'm open to collaborations. I'm open to doing, having authors and artists come on to the stream, and you can gain that kind of exposure. Sure, probably not a whole hell of a lot right now, but it's consistency that's key. We continue. But if people are, my only gripe here is that if people are showing up, like say I'm continuing to put in the effort, right? I continue to put in the effort to do promos, push the show on various platforms, put in the effort to produce the shows. If I'm continue to do that and I'm putting in the work to kind of get people, new people, this isn't for those of you who are regulars. I said thank you to those of you guys. So this doesn't apply to you, okay? But I'm talking about, the here today, gone tomorrow types. If I continue to put in this kind of effort to get kind of persuade or attract new viewers to the show, and they're showing up, like these are normies, you know what I'm saying? Like these are normies, or these are people that are coming in from the outside. They may not know anything about the indie scene at all. Okay. But they see this, and this is how I'm marketing this, is like, this is where you can come to learn about the underground, what's coming out of the underground. You done with Hollywood? Okay. I'm one of those avenues where you can come, because this show, I'm not selling you anything. Okay. All I'm doing is raising awareness from the get-go, from the jump. That's what I've said. All I'm doing is raising awareness. I'm not selling you a goddamn thing. I'm raising awareness for various projects from around the underground scene. And then after, because the whole thing about this show is it's about discovery. Discovery for you, discovery for me. I've discovered quite a few books that I've added to my TBR list thanks to this show and people sharing links with me. So that's what I want to do. So if I do that, if I continue to put in this effort, right, just try to empathize for a second. Put yourself in my shoes, okay? Continue to put in the effort, sharing this show all around, doing promo clips and stuff like that, which, by the way, you guys are always free to download these shows, and you can edit them however you want, okay? If I've ever had your work on the show, feel free to download the show. You can edit it and clip it however you want, and you can use it. You have my permission. You can use it however you want for your own advertising and promotion. Okay, and marketing, however you see fit. But if I continue, my point that I'm making here eventually is that if I continue to put in this effort and I'm attracting new eyeballs to the show, and these people show up, and their first impression of this independent scene is goose egg. Nobody's showing up. It looks like nobody cares. Well, what kind of impression do you think that's going to leave on them? Do you think that they're going to be gung-ho to return after the fact and continue? Like they might look at that and be like, wow, this indie scene is a real joke. That I'm just speaking, based on human, basic human behavior here. That's something that might cross their mind. But if newbies tune in and they see that people are showing up, showing out, and showing their support in some shape, fashion, or form, well, they may be more inclined to want to get involved, stay involved, become, kind of committed to, seeing what this is all about. The whole scene, not just one person's work. Not just one person's book, but just the whole scene in general. And I feel like if I can do that, then I've accomplished my goal as far as this show goes. So now that I'm done with my tirade, because I'm seeing I'm going on. I bring this up because I'm going on. Let's see, this is week 3 or 4, like week 3 or 4 now that I've done. I do 3 writers lift per week. This is like week 3 or 4 now where I've done my show promos across various platforms. and it's dead wood. Dead wood across the board. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I got a queue right now. I have work that's sitting in the queue right now. That's fine. And that will take me out several weeks. But the whole point is that several weeks is supposed to be a buffer. So while I'm doing my promos now, like these coming weeks, I'm doing my promos, I should be adding on. I should be consistently adding on to the queue, to the back end of the queue, while I continue to set up my shows. And that's how this model should work. But it's not working out that way. And hey, maybe it's on me. Maybe it requires me to be a dancing monkey. Maybe that's the trick. I have to be a dancing monkey. I got to put on clown makeup, be a dancing monkey. I got to, what else do I got to do? I got to do rage bait. I got to do algorithm shit. I got to do rage bait. I got to do click bait. Maybe I should, no, I won't say that. I won't say that. I'll keep it moving before I do a thrombo here. Suffer a thrombo. You guys catch the drift. You're adults. You get it. I shouldn't have to explain myself. But that's the point. Really? Yeah. That's actually happened to me before as well, with somebody else that I watch, not getting notifications from YouTube. Yeah. But I don't, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I really don't care about the algorithm. That's why I don't care about the rage bait. I don't care about clickbait. And I'm not going to be a dancing monkey. Okay. I don't do shit for the algorithm. I don't. And I refuse to. I'm a human being. I don't give a fuck what the algorithm wants, quite frankly. I do the stuff that I want to do. Okay? I do what I want to do because I think it's cool. I don't think it's cool to appease the algorithm. Fuck the algorithm. If I don't show up in feeds, fine. But I want real people showing up. You guys show up. You're not here because the algorithm told you to. You're not here because you saw 100,000 people were watching the stream. You're here because, I'm assuming, of your own free will, because you want to be. And those are the people that I want to attract. But I'm saying, if more and more people are like that, and I can find those people that are real, that actually want to be involved because they want to support the indie scene, they want to be involved in the indie scene because it's fun, they find it fun. Or if they're authors and they literally just want to use this as a resource, that's fine too, so long as you continue to contribute links. Hey, no harm, no foul. Not everybody has the time to watch a 2-hour show or something like that. But I always keep them on the replays as well. So if you guys, I know some of you guys might want to, put it on in the background or something like that after the fact, you do the replay. That's fine. I do that too with some other shows. Mind you, I subscribe to quite a few YouTubers and I can't keep up with all their content. But I try to, I catch shows every now and then and put them on in the background or something like that while I'm doing my work, which is fine too. But you get my point, though. If people show up and it looks like nobody gives a shit, that taps into people's psychology. And the first thing they're going to think of, not me. I'll tell you right now, that's not how my mind works. But the average person, literally the average person, because you can tell because social media has been the biggest social experiment ever. And the numbers don't lie. The average person will see something like that has low numbers, and they will automatically think low value. That's what they will automatically think. The average person will think something like that. Or the opposite. They'll see something, oh, 100,000 viewers. This must mean high value. It's literally just a dancing monkey. You know, let's move it right along. Let's get into some reading time. Reading time. Reading time. This is quite simply where I read something that you guys submit to me. Now, this can be anything that comes from your own blog. Okay, so if you run a blog and you'd like to get a little plug that way for your website, your blog, or you do like it can come from a third-party site too. Like if you do like Kindle Vella serials, or you have a Wattpad or a Medium account, I'll check it out. So long as it's free to read, and I can bring it right up on the stream, and I will read it during reading time for you, for your entertainment. As far as that goes, let's see what we have tonight. Tonight is a collection of various poems by somebody who is a multi-time contributor to the live show, to Monday Night Live. From Twitter, this is from Vincent Van Zandvoort. I like saying that name. And just shares a link to a photo gallery, or what I'm calling his poetry gallery, because I will have something to say about it after the fact. But this is a gallery of poetry written by Vincent Van Zandvoort via his buymeacoffee.com. So let's check out some of his poetry, huh? Let's see how I can do this here. I think I can do like a pop out. Let's see. All right, what happens if I click one of these? All right, looks good, looks good. All right, so this is what I wanted to say. If you do like, because I know that poetry, there is like a whole section on like Twitter, in like the writing community on Twitter, where people are focused on poetry, and on like Authortube as well. But I almost say like this is a great idea in terms of how to present your poems. Okay, I'm not a huge now take it with a grain of salt, because I've already admitted I'm not a huge poetry guy myself. But as kind of like an outsider, looking in, I find this way of presentation to be quite attractive. Like when you present your poems and you have them on like a photo like that, where the photo kind of like, it's almost like a cover card, if you will, or like it has like a theme, like say it's a nature poem, all right, and you have the poem plastered on like not just a photo, but like it has like that solid, like a solid background color like that where the poem is, but then there's like a photo like around it, like it could have like a nature scene or something like that. I think that that's a good way to kind of present your poems, opposed to just posting your poems just verbatim, like just text only in a social post, like doing it in other words, doing it in kind of like this Instagram photo style is attractive. I think it's a good way to present them. So this one, let's see, Victory. Let me see here. Trying to get it so I can kind of cycle through them. Guess that's about as good as it's going to get. Maybe I can go like this. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, let's do that. All right. This first one entitled Victory. Be a spark. The dark shall cease to be dark. Focus on the good. Without a shadow of doubt, darkness will spit you out. Others will follow. Hunger to food to swallow. You're a warrior. You're the blood of your ancestors. Every drop of sweat, every cry of fear, every salty tear, every second, every day, every year, you have already won. We're already here. A little serendipity there. This next one, Dark Sparrow. Why am I afraid? I ask myself too late, like I always am, pretending I'm your man. Heaven holds a place, but first awaits a grave. Most people have no clue. I am here because of you. I live in my own world, just as real as your soul. The one solution I can see is to save us all from me. This flight is mine alone to catch. Say goodbye to fear and love. Deus ex machina, what comes down from up above. Every creature dies alone. The rabbits back for more. Through the tunnel towards the gun. Flood, time, cellar door. Phonesthetics for the ear. The last 28 days of fear. Go to bed. You've done your best. You'll come in first by ending last. And the Beatles. I wonder if this is a quote. Every now and then the sky is crystal clear and the stars are just right. No. See, we'll keep it going with the poems here. Let's see. Next one, Sandy. Where would I begin? Comfortable alone. No one cared for me, just the way I chose. Now there's change. Now nothing's the same. I try to gain control, grab a hold. It's no use, I fall. Straight into your arms. You feel so safe and warm. It was so long ago. I feel so close to home. When I look into your eyes, you persuade me with your smile. I reach for my insides and offer heart and soul. Nothing goes my way. I see this every day. Your love, it will not last. I trade in present and in past. Nothing can be done about talking through a song, about escaping my way in, about picking out the best, about leaving all the rest, about gelatin from bone, about making it alone. Now there's change. Now nothing's the same. I try to gain control, grab a hold. It's no use, I fall. I am Sandy, slipping through your fingers. That one kind of sounded like song lyrics there. Succubus. Zoom in on this one. Succubus. I see a face out of the corner of my eye. I see a girl, no brain, thinks with her heart. but her heart was going bad. I see a girl already dead, and I couldn't move. It was hard to breathe. She came all over me, underneath the sheets. Spice, look out. No matter how long I may live, I'll give all I can give. As long as I have life, blessed I am. Although I don't know how to survive. A demon? My woman from a past life? I remember now I had just fallen asleep, but before I finally felt this pressure on my chest, my heart beating out of my body. I'm now frozen still, the old hag in my bed, all the nasty things she says. Give it to me in the head. It whispers, I will never stop. Go on until your body rots. Looking at me straight in the eye. Grab your chance now, it's still here. Most violent love I've ever shared. Just another secret to take along. So scared I will see her when my time has come, just before taking my last breath, hearing you say, well, at last. That one was kind of metal. Let's see what else we have here. Let's kind of scroll through a few of them. Helping hands. How about we read about helping hands, shall we? Helping hands. Helping hands like a gift from above. They dig their own grave like a mole, sand swimming its way to freedom. The man is standing tall, shovel way up high. All he does is wait. You're all going to die. Greedy hands take what they can get. Helping hands have made his cozy bed. They'll sleep outside, out of breath, out of money. They'll sleep outside and think all of this is funny. Helping hands can't get a grip. Helping hands make the others slip. Helping hands forget to take their own. Helping hands let others die alone. What the hell is that? Okay. We'll skip that one. This one's 180 degrees. 180 degrees. If love equals courage and hate equals cowardice, sending brave men off to war becomes an impossibility, and their world would be turned upside down. See, we load some more here. Let's see, this one's got Jesus. This one's entitled Heroes. You're not supposed to meet your heroes. See them up close and talk with them. They should be shrouded in mystery, unmeetable, yet believable, magical, hope-giving in all their invisibility, and untouchable, like Jesus. All right, and those are some select poems from Vincent Van Zandvoort. I know. Yeah, from succubus to Jesus. Are you not entertained? From heaven and hell. I dig it. Oh, this is from Twitch. Oh, we got someone or something, perhaps a bot. But this kind of is my point here. This is not something that I want right here. This right here is an example of what I don't want. Okay. Impromptu Eris says, hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, follower. I want to offer promotion of your channel. I want to offer you viewers, followers, views, and chat bots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on, incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on, off, and customize. Go to dogehype.com. It's crap. This is junk. This is not what I want. I don't want fake, phony, fakery, nonsense. I don't want to play the social media game. I don't need to pretend that the show is more popular than what it is. It's going to be up to you guys to show up, show out, and show your support. And it's all voluntary. No one's holding a gun to anyone's head here. In fact, if it's boring to you, fine. That's fine if you don't tune in. If you want to watch it on the replay, that's fine too. I don't want anyone to feel like they're forced to be here. That's the last thing I want to do. Okay? Be here because you're passionate, because you want to be here. You want to discover what's going on. You want to stay on the up and up with what's going on in this corner of YouTube or this portion of the underground scene that I present to you week in and week out. Okay. Raina Chen, hey, no apologies necessary. I'm just on one of my diatribes. You know how it is. One of them, and I know that I'll actually check it right now for you. Since you're here, I know that I have another one from you coming up. I have the Queen funeral coming up. It's a little ways in the queue, but I have you. I have you in the queue, DA. So definitely appreciate you for sharing the links. But continue to share though. As far as the links go, it's first come, first serve, you guys. And I'm building up, so that's how I build up my queues. So don't wait. Like if you already shared something before, that's fine. Feel free to just keep on. You know what I mean? And I'll keep loading up the queue. I'll keep filling up the queue. And there's multiple segments. You guys know all the different segments. And I'll tell you right now, here's the other one. Here's the other segment, okay? Featured media. We would have featured media. This would be the featured media segment, but I don't have any videos. No one's sharing any videos. So that's just how it is. There's not going to be a featured media segment tonight. So if you want to share a video with me, you've produced a video on your own channel, and you can kind of get your YouTube a plug that way by sharing something with me that I can then, watch live on the air, and I can provide commentary for, and or kind of give my first impressions. This can be videos that are book trailers. Okay, book trailers would be a big one. It's book trailers could be fun. It's a way to also double dip. So if you've already had a book featured during the first segment, because I don't do repeats. At least I'm not aiming to do repeats. I've been very careful so far with my first segment where I cover books to not do any repeats. It's all each and every single week. I present 4 brand new books new to the show. That is 4 brand new books to the stream each week. Okay. Now, if you're an author that has multiple books, hey, feel free to share each and every single one of your books individually as individual links. That's cool. We can do it that way. But also, if you've had a book that was featured in the first segment, then if you have a book trailer for it, boom, that's a way you can double dip, baby. You want double dip? Share a link to that book trailer and I'll play it during the featured media. So that's kind of a way you can double dip in that way. Or if you do like a reading excerpt, you've read an excerpt of one of your books, or if you do short story readings, you do your own poetry readings, or you do video essays or like writing advice or tips types videos, or just simple updates, like updates on your own projects, your own writing projects, something like that. I've also done things like book tags. So if you're like a booktuber, and you do that kind of thing where you're talking about, like, say you do, or if you do like a video essay thing where you're an author, but you've read a mainstream book and you're doing kind of a video essay of like plot structure or something like that, or writing techniques, creative techniques, but you're using like a mainstream book as like an example for your lesson or something like that. Those types of videos, things. Just when in doubt, share the link and I will decide if it's something that makes sense to bring onto the show. Okay, simple as that. So that's featured media. And we'll keep it moving. See what you guys have talking about. What brought up Dogecoin? I don't know. I'm multi-streaming right now. I'm on Twitch and I'm on Rumble right now. It's crickets over on Rumble right now. Views are decent on Rumble, but engagement is crickets over on Rumble too. It's very strange. It's like all these social media platforms that I'm kind of like promoting the show for. It's like, aside from like the odd anomaly every now and then where someone, a comment here or there, it's almost like it's like a barren wasteland out there just filled with dead wood, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. What do you got? I am trying to finish my YA novella soon. Hey, there you go. Tapping into that YA market, huh? Is it a dystopian? YA what's the subgenre? Because I don't know where you stand on this, but YA, remember we haven't had it personally between you and I, but I know that it's been a kind of a little bit of a back and forth on other channels and stuff. Like, what is YA? Is YA a genre? Is it just an age group? I'm in the camp that I would say YA is really just an age group. But people talk of YA as if it is a genre in it and of itself. I argue no, but hey. So this is YA. Okay, you're doing a young adult. So that's how I read that. I'm trying to finish my young adult novella. Okay, what is it? What's the subgenre? If you consider it a genre, or what is the genre of this YA? Or is that too much information to share? Is it very hush-hush right now? Hopefully the end of June on that one. Hey, man, that's right around the corner, man. Man, this year, we're already almost halfway through the year. This year's flying by, man. Let me tell you. I've got plans. Like, I've had plans. I got at least, okay, I'll give you guys a little inside info. I've got at least 2 special or video, like special presentations that I have in the pipeline that I would like to release for this year. So this isn't the live stream stuff. This isn't the hot topic uploads. This is like, these are special videos that I like pre-record and do ahead of time. So like special presentations. So I got at least 2 special presentations that I have in the pipeline that I would like to do for this year. And also one pretty big for me, writing project that I would like to release for this year. It's been a while. I know it's been a while since I've talked about any writing projects. I got a pretty big one that I kind of in the works right now. I don't want to announce it because I don't want to. Again, I don't want to do like writing checks my ass can't cash sort of thing. So I'm not making any promises, but it's it's going to be pretty cool. I think it'll be pretty cool and hopefully inspirational. That is one of the aims. Yeah, that's what they said, Doge hype or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea what that website is, and I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to play the social media game. I don't want to play like, oh, I got a bunch of fake bots watching the show. I don't care about the numbers. I don't give a shit. And I also don't give a shit about the algorithm. I'm not producing these shows for the algorithm. I'm producing these shows for all the alleged artists and authors that are out there in this writing community. That's the audience that I'm trying to tap into. Where are all the authors at? Where are all the writers at in this so-called writing community? That's what I want to know. Where you guys at? Yo, call to arms. Where you guys at? Let's hang out. All right. I'm all fired up now. Let's get into the next segment. A little segment that I like to call Hot Topic for Content Creators because, oh yeah, here we go again. Hot Topic for Content Creators. This is where I pitch a hot topic to you guys, and then you guys turn around, if you feel so inclined, and you create your own content on said topic. And if you tag me in your video, or you guessed it, share the link with me, then I may feature your video and tag your subsequent YouTube channel or whatever it is in a future live stream. Okay. Or else you're always welcome to go ahead and revisit any of my previously pitched hot topic videos and leave your comments on any of those, and I will address your comments live on the air. And for tonight, I'm going to be revisiting one of the first couple hot topics that I pitched, and the prompt for that one is traditional publishing obsolete? Okay. But more appropriately, for tonight's subject that I'm going to be covering as we kind of continue to embroider this topic would be, has mainstream means of production become obsolete? Because I actually have there is a new writer's strike that is going on right now. And it actually revolves around Hollywood this time. So one writer's strike I covered, it was earlier in the year and it was resolved, allegedly, had to do with traditional publishing. Okay, now there's a new writer's strike going on, and this one has to do with Hollywood productions. So this is fairly new. I'm going to be learning about this with you guys, for those of you who are also hearing about this for the first time right now. I have a couple articles lined up. I have a couple articles lined up. Let's check them out, so I can get up to speed with what's going on here. Is it just maybe a sign of the times, but also perhaps a sign of the times are changing, if you know what I mean? All right. Is that what it is? You already have a little you know a little bit about what's going on. This is a first for me, so I'm going to save my opinions until I have become officially informed. At least as far as the Guardian goes. And this first article comes from the Guardian. Okay. And the headline on this one says, so this first article is to kind of get me up to speed with what's going on. This article was dated Thursday, May 4th. So it says, writers on why they're standing up to Hollywood. Quote, this is fundamentally broken. And it says, 6 film and TV writers discuss what the industry means to them and why they are fighting for its future. So they want the mainstream. They want that mainstream to continue. Let's see what they have to say. Let's see what's going on in this. It says more than 11,000 film and television writers went on strike this week, staging a showdown with studio executives over how much power writers will have in an increasingly digital, tech-reliant entertainment industry. Writers say their profession has been devalued in the age of streaming, even as studio profits soar. Executives rake in millions in compensation, and demand for new content remains ceaseless. In 2021, 12 of the top media and entertainment executives received about $1 billion in total compensation between them. In contrast, half of writers are now receiving the minimum compensation for their jobs, their union said, compared with only a third a decade ago. Arguing that the industry is trying to turn writers into content farmers or narrative gig workers. That's a little bit telling. Narrative gig workers. So they're already hinting at the rise of the gig economy there. So arguing that the industry is trying to turn writers into content farmers or narrative gig workers, members of Writers Guild of America, WGA, voted overwhelmingly to enact the first work stoppage in 15 years after new contract negotiations with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, AMPTP, broke down. 15 years, huh? The WGA's key demands include increased pay, better compensation when shows are transferred to streaming services rather than re-aired on television, regulations for how artificial intelligence is used in the writing process, an end to the, quote, abuse of mini rooms, in which a smaller group of writers develop scripts often for minimum pay rates despite their seniority or experience, and increases to pensions and health funds. And good luck on that one. I'll say that right now, from a business standpoint. The pension has gone the way of the dinosaur. I'm sorry to say, Zoomers. And I mean that with all the sympathy in the world. Good luck fighting for pensions. Pensions were by and large, pensions are just another one of those things that the boomers got to enjoy. Very, very few corporations in this day and age offer legitimate pensions, a legitimate form of what it was understood to be a pension Now it's all the glorified 401k plans that you gotta be there, and you gotta become vested for at least, you gotta become vested with the company now for at least anywhere from 5 to 7 years of your time, punching that time clock to be fully vested into this 401k, which can increase and decrease in value depending on what's going on in the overall market. It's not like a pension where you're going to get guaranteed paychecks after the fact. No, those days are gone for the most part. Health funds, yeah, maybe. There are still companies out there that have good healthcare plans, which is not an I will say that, which is not an unreasonable request, because if you're giving a company your time, like in-person time, like you have to wake up and travel to an actual destination and physically punch a time card and be on their time, and they're paying for your time in that respect, then yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable to request healthcare in that sense, which I'm pretty sure is law now anyways. If I'm not mistaken, it's law now anyways that companies have to provide some sort of healthcare plan, unless you are a gig worker, like you're what is it? You do you're an independent contractor, unless you're an independent contractor, in which case you do your own healthcare as far as that goes. But that's neither here nor there. The Guardian spoke. This part we're not going to get into. I really don't give a shit about these, what these 6 individuals had to say. I just wanted to get the facts, the gist of what's going on with this strike. I actually have another article now to get into, which was just recently released, which is also from the Guardian. But before I do that, let's check in and see what you guys are saying in the comments. We're busy writing. I don't know what that was in context to, but appropriate for this topic. Strike? What strike's going on? I don't know. I've been too busy writing to give a shit. You were doing something? Oh yeah, actually, now that you bring that up, I remember you said something about that. You were going to do. Da Bell writes, I was doing a Medium post. That's his blog. Doing a Medium post for traditional publishing is obsolete, but realized I may be too green for that topic. Well, I mean, you can come at it from any angle you want. It doesn't have to be, you can do it. Come at it from any subject that you want, however it pertains to you, even if it's just strictly an opinion piece. And by the way, you guys, if you want to do it that way, you can do it that way as well. I said always like drop comments on this and I'll address your comments, or produce a video and I'll respond to the video. But if you want to do a blog post in response to any of these topics, that's another way too. I forgot, to mention, I usually forget to mention it, doing it that way. But yeah, if you have your own blog where you write editorials and you do opinion pieces like that and stuff on current affairs or topics like this, and you want to do a response, kind of like blog a response to this topic and share your opinions, hey, by all means, you can share a link to that as well, and I'll read it. I'll read that and respond to it. Hey, like I always say, what's going on, Rachel? Like I always say, not too shabby, not too crabby. Just a little bit crabby, but not too shabby. Herman, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Since you're saying yo, you always say yo. We'll give you one of these. I don't have my headphones in, so I'll assume that it played. Let's see. D.A. Bell. A little fun fact here from D.A. Bell, right? Says CEO of WBD gets paid over $200 million a year. Good for him. Must be nice. Yes, we got some hellos. We'll get to that. I'll have to remind me later. I'll get to that other comment, Rainer. We'll get to that in the wrap up. Yeah. All right, let's get into this next article. This one's I found interesting. So I'm curious to see what it's all about. So in the same vein, this next article has to do with the strike. Okay, the same strike. But it's coming at it from a different angle. So we get a nice little photo here of people wasting their time outside. At least they're getting some fresh air, you know. It's good for their health as far as that goes. At least they're getting some fresh air. All right, this article posted just a few days ago on Friday, May the 5th. All right. And this article, the headline reads, Hollywood thinks it can divide and conquer the writers' strike. It won't work. From James Shamus. The subtitle here, conglomerates want to turn us into gig workers or replace us with AI scabs. Writers across the world are uniting to fight back. Writers who have nothing better to do, I suppose, you could say to that one. You guys already know where I stand on that. You never catch my ass. You know, in a candid photo like that, hell no. You're not going to catch my ass standing around with a damn sign, walking around in circles, wasting my time. I don't think so. Homie, don't play that. Let's get into the article. I and 12,000 of my fellow Writers Guild of America colleagues went on strike this week. Now, before I go on, it's one thing to walk out on a job, walk out on an employer that you think is doing you dirty. I don't think anyone, if you feel like you're being played by your employer and you walk out, this isn't me criticizing the strike itself. If these people feel like they're being treated unfairly or being played or being done dirty by their employer, then more power to them for saying, hey, you don't value my work, I'm out. That simple. And if there's enough people that feel the same way, you're going to be out of business quick, fast, in a hurry, because no one's going to want to work for you. And I commend them on that. But standing around with a sign, holding a sign after the fact, you see, that doesn't, I feel like that's counterintuitive or counterproductive as far as that goes, because now you're wasting your own damn time. And time is money as far as that goes, which is why I say that you would not catch my ass. If I feel like I'm being treated poorly by an employer or someone hired me to do work, I'm out of there. That's it. You can find someone else to do the job. Good luck. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You set the price. And if people value it, they value it. You know, it's supply and demand, what people are willing to pay. And that's the market based on market activity. But yeah, standing around, hell no. Waste of time. You're wasting your time. You could be spending that actually writing, doing something else, starting a new business. So many things you could be doing other than walking around in a goddamn circle, holding a sign with some stupid rah rah siskumba bullshit written on it. Supposed to be writers here. Judging by what you wrote on these signs, I'm unconvinced. Let's just say that much. Look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. Let's blow him up for a second. This guy right in the front row here, he says he decided to write, "Get in, loser. We're on strike." Get in, loser? Isn't that like something isn't that a caption that Instagram e-thoughts put on their selfies or something like that? Get in, loser. We're going to go get some Starbucks. You know, a meme. Come on, you're supposed to be a writer. Can't come up with something better than that? Come on. It's a disgrace. All right. I and 12,000 of my fellow Writers Guild of America colleagues went on strike this week against the conglomerates that make and control much of the content consumed by global audiences. Late night comedy variety shows. Look out, Kimmel. Late night comedy variety shows have gone dark. Really? They just ended it? That's it? No more live late night TV? Late night TV has just gone dark? Interesting. Late night comedy variety shows have gone dark. Untold numbers of productions have been disrupted and are in the process of shutting down. Studio gates and corporate offices are being besieged by thousands of picketers. Besieged. That's cute. Our last strike back in 2007 caused more than $3 billion of economic damage in Los Angeles alone. This strike could be even more costly. We didn't want this strike. It's already causing genuine suffering to many of our union members. No shit, huh? You're making them stand around, doing nothing. Using them, literally using them as an example for your own cause. Don't get me started on this union bullshit. We didn't want this strike. It's already causing genuine suffering to many of our union members and to many support staff and other workers whose livelihoods are being immediately affected. But that suffering is nothing compared with the pain and degradation that the conglomerates have openly proclaimed they plan to inflict on us. Our collective action is the only thing that can stop them. Now, this article is starting to sound like an epic, I have to say. Very dramatic. As a member of the Guild negotiating committee, I've had a front row seat the past couple of months to the conglomerate's tactics and strategies. They haven't been subtle about their intentions. We've heard industry leaders, some of whom just this past month announced annual salaries of $50 million and more, tell us that they can weather a strike because they have plenty of international programming produced far outside the Guild's jurisdiction. Holy fuck. They're playing hardball. The globalization. Fucking hell. These people are so fucking petty, huh? Fuck Hollywood, dude. You guys wonder why I don't give a shit what comes out of LA. I stopped caring what comes out of Hollywood years ago. And this is why. Listen to how fucking petty these people are. On both sides. The globalization of our industry, which in many positive ways has decentered Hollywood's parochial dominance. Think of the success of shows such as Squid Game, is now being used as a cudgel against workers, a tactic familiar to industrial and service workers who have seen their jobs offshored. Yeah, is comparable, I suppose, in a way. But an unintended, at least for the conglomerates, side effect of this globalization has been a remarkable increase in international solidarity. The International Affiliation of Writers Guilds, which started in 1986 as a loose grouping of unions from English-speaking countries, now represents guilds whose 50,000 members span the globe, from India to Spain to South Africa. And they are sending a powerful message to their members, or rather, their members are sending a powerful message through them. Don't write on guild-covered projects. Don't be a scab. Along with the unprecedented solidarity writers are getting from sister unions here in the US and Canada, already many Teamsters are parking their trucks, taking the keys, and refusing to cross picket lines. That message is resonating loudly. If the conglomerates thought they could replace us with cheaper, non-union writers from distant shores, they've got another thing coming. Of course, our bosses are also dreaming of replacing us another way, with generative AI software. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? One of the most startling moments in our negotiations came when the conglomerates flat out refused to even counter our proposals about AI, instead offering an, quote, annual meeting to discuss advancements in technology, end quote. It's a very diplomatic way of, it's very corporate diplomacy right there. I don't think even an AI chat bot could have come up with more absurd response. However, in their defense, I have heard of people saying that AI chatbots could write a better script for some of these shows that have been coming out lately. I kid. It's just a joke. I don't think, let's see. The fact is that AI is here and it's going to transform our lives and work in unimaginable ways. I, like many of my fellow writers, am both nervous and excited about the prospect of how AI as a tool will be used in our storytelling. Speak for yourself, pal. Not this guy. I'm not excited about it. It does the opposite. I do not get excited about it. I get discouraged about it because that says that people are losing their sense of creativity. They're losing their own they're not developing their own damn imaginations, is what that means. But I digress. So it says, and I don't think of it as a kind of binary on-off switch that will simply shut off our jobs and replace us. That's what you think. But as we already clearly saw earlier in the article, that you seem to have forgotten is just how fucking petty these people in Hollywood can be. Art? Culture? Ah. Bottom line? But that just makes the conglomerate's position even more insidious, because while we don't know how AI will function as a writer, we already know how our bosses intend to use it as managers. Part of their jobs, after all, is to make sure the power of capital can use every tool at its disposal to disempower workers as they transform what used to be jobs into endless, frantic scrambles for gigs, which is why There's literally nothing stopping any of us, artists, creatives, writers, authors, collaborating, building our own companies, working together, supporting each other. There's literally nothing stopping. There's nothing stonewalling us. There's no gatekeepers except literally our own willingness to do so. So I don't understand, this worrisome behavior. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. I just want to work with people who are real human beings, who want to actually create art, who just want to create, who have their own imagination, can think for themselves. Okay, those are the people that I'm going to support. I have money. I literally have no problem making purchases on the independent market like magic. It works just the same as the mainstream market. You pay money and you get a product, or you get a piece of art for paying money. Wow, who would have thought? It's literally the same thing as the mainstream, except it's the indie market. To understand the future, and by that I mean the present, immediate future, that the conglomerates are preparing for the people who imagine and create the shows and movies you watch, let me sketch out for you the kind of push notifications our bosses will, if they get their way, soon be receiving every morning. They'll go like this. All right, here's a little inside baseball, if you will. Hi, your writer, James, 4.92 stars, is arriving now at the virtual TV writer's room. He will wait for 5 minutes before his day rate will begin to apply, though feel free to dismiss him at any time without cause. Using his Write on Site trademark software, the license for which he has paid for himself, he will this morning occupy himself with filling in dialogue and making copy edits on the studio's AI-generated outline for next week's episode of the hit series Sandpoint Dad, the new action dramedy starring Kevin Sorbo as himself. Part of the expanding Real Moms of Liberty cinematic TV universe. After 1 hour, his Write on Site virtual executive mentor will provide him, as well as, of course, the studio executives in charge of the show who are monitoring his progress on their dashboards with his first Let's Shoot It trademark rating, which will indicate the probability that his work will be used by the studio. A rating of over 75% will award him the first of his much sought after Golden Quill tokens, 10 of which will give him a 5% premium on his daily rate, though only prorated to those hours consecutively worked at high probability, with an understanding that Golden Quill trademark tokens cannot be carried over from one episode to another. So you kind of get the idea. He's just kind of creating a fictional scenario here of basically, I like how he is a little bit optimistic that the studios are actually going to hire writers. He's very optimistic in the sense that he actually believes that these Hollywood studios are still going to be hiring professional writers to play with generative AI. Effectively, just play with generative AI. No, they're not. The fact that he thinks that they're going to pay people for that. No, they're going to use interns for that. So a little bit too optimistic on that sense. I see there is a little bit of realism there in how it will probably transpire. I believe that much, except just edit out the part where they're actually paying a professional writer and just insert a desperate college intern with an English degree and a shit ton of debt who just wants the prestige, who just wants a foot in the door. Those are the people that they're going to use to play with the generative AI. And then he just kind of goes on talking about Chat GPT and thoughts and feelings about that. What do you guys think about this ongoing strike? Got any thoughts about it? Any sympathies whatsoever? What do you think's on the horizon for Hollywood? This is interesting to me, that basically late night TV has gone completely dark. That's interesting. So what does that mean? No more Saturday Night Live? No more crappy jokes at Saturday Night Live or anything like that? That's what I said. Yeah, exactly. That's thinking outside the box. The TV box, the boob tube. Think outside the boob tube, you know? But I'll be interested to hear what you guys have to say about this. Like I say, you can come at this from all sorts of angles, share your opinions, thoughts, feelings down below. And I will address everything you have to say in a future show. And that's it for me. Well, we're going to start. Well, it's that time, I should say. It's that time. We're going to start wrapping up the show now. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got for you guys this week. So if you want some nice, you want some more content, I guess you would say, or more stuff to interact with during the show, I don't expect you to share the streams. I mean, you guys are more than welcome to. I mean, you're adults. You can make your own choices. If you want to share the stream, it's up to you guys. If you think it's worthy, if the show's worthy of sharing, then you can share it. But other than that, what you can do, and what would probably be more effective, is reaching out to those in your peer group that you're in contact with, like other writers, authors, artists, readers who review books and stuff like that. Reach out to them and let them know that I exist, that this show exists, I should say, and how they can get involved if they want to kind of raise awareness for their own work, if they're interested in, giving me permission, I should say, to raise awareness for their work, because that's kind of what I'm here to do. So let's wrap up the show tonight. But before we do, let me go ahead and get into some theme music for you guys. This is something new that I do when I close out each stream. I put on some little theme music, set the mood, So let's see. In the midst of all this drama, the woe is me for all these writers, these Hollywood writers out here. How about we start up the apocalypse now? How about we go with a little apocalypse now instead of kicking the can down the road and waiting for the inevitable? Talking about. Let me do my example here. Speaking of Hollywood, this is my Marlon Brando. It's impossible to words to describe what is necessary to those who do not know what horror means. Horror. Horror has a face, and you must make a friend of horror. Horror and moral terror are your friends. If they are not, then they are enemies to be feared. They are truly enemies. And scene. Thank you. I was free of charge. All right, let's check out the comments. Let's see, we had, I think, had somebody stop by the channel this past week. Let's see who wants to make a friend of horror. Okay, I think there's a first timer here. And this comes from John A. Douglas. I am familiar with who John A. Douglas is. I am subscribed to him on YouTube. I know that he is involved in the Authortube scene, and he is also he is an author himself. I believe he writes, if I'm not mistaken, he writes epic fantasy, if I'm not mistaken. So John A. Douglas writes, great video and totally agree. The game has changed. It's a new day and a new market. This was in response to Is Trad Pub Obsolete? Part 13. I was basically, I think in that one, I was just going on one of my general diatribes about the indie scene in general and how it is a community-based activity. At least I think it is. At least I think it is. Some of you guys, thank you to those of you who showed up in the chat tonight. Those of you who watch this on the replay and do leave the comments. You guys are showing me that there is hope. There is hope for this scene yet. I do believe that the indie sphere, the underground scene, is community-based activity. It is something fun. It's not about idolatry. It's not about celebrity worship. It's just about the art and appreciating arts and appreciating what's going on out there. And it's about independence. It's about, doing what you want to do without there being any kind of manipulation or gatekeepers or people trying to tell you how you need to do it and how it needs to be made or anything like that. So that's it for me this week. I hope y'all had some fun, at the very least. I hope y'all discovered something new. And don't fret, because guess what? I will be back here for you next week, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Pacific. You guys have a good week.
This offended my sensibilities.